do like participation. So I may select participants from the audience to come up. If you want, you could just go pass it around to everyone.
Okay, can I pass?
Did you pass out some of those?
Yes, I have these and these with your main card here.
Great. Do you want to pass this around to anyone else? This is one of my piano students, Noah. He's going to demonstrate some things today and show some things. So I don't know if he's excited, but I'm excited. All right. Okay, I have piano students kind of around the world that I will do FaceTime or Skype lessons with. And I had a student in Dubai. Okay, trying to figure out when I would teach them that would work with their timetable. It was horrible. I was like getting up at 5 in the morning. I mean, it was really a tough situation. Okay.
Jerald teaches quite a few adults.
I teach a lot of those. I have a lot of adult piano students who are piano teachers who take lessons from me as well. And I love it. Different ages, different levels. And we have a lot of different levels here, and so I'm going to teach at different levels. Some of the things that we'll work on will be great for beginning students. Some of the things you may say, what is he talking about? Because it'll be more for the adults, it'll be much more advanced. But I will gear it for everyone. For me personally, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself, I grew up in a very musical home. My father had been a professional musician. And my father, thankfully, I was classically taught, but then I had my father who would try to have me improvise and arrange things and change things up. Where he would say, can you play this in a jazz style? Can you play it in a boogie-woogie style? You know? And I would say, well, what does that mean? You know? I came out with an entire book called Variations on Mary Had a Little Lamb, okay, that I dedicated to my father, because I remember playing Mary Had a Little Lamb for my father, and I was so excited and I was so proud, and I had played just a very simple. But for me, it could have been like trying to create, you know, the Mona Lisa. I mean, this was the end-all, be-all, and I was so excited. And I remember playing it for my father, and my father, after I finished, instead of clapping or applauding or saying, you're the most amazing musician ever, he said, so, you know. And I thought, Dad, this Mary Had a Little Lamb. And then he turned to me and he said, how would it sound if Mary took her lamb to China? Figure that out, and then come back and play it for me. I said, I didn't even know what China was or where it was. I mean, I didn't know what he was talking about. Later on, I learned if you take a fourth interval and you put it above the melody, you get that Asian flair, that Oriental sound. And then he would say, great, what about blues? What about ragtime? What about boogie woogie? And for me, he was always challenging me. And then he would say, if you can play it in the key of C, you can play any song in any key. Which I agree with. And I challenge my own students. I'm always saying, great, let's take this song up half a step. Great, let's go to the key of D. Let's go up. And it was because my father, he would look at me and he would say, 7 sharps, which key? And we would be at Hogle Zoo, okay? We would be at the zoo in front of the monkeys, and I would say, what? I don't have any sheet music with me. And he would say 7 sharps. And he would start to snap his fingers. And he had a very, very loud snap. He'd say, come on, 7 sharps. Which key? And I would say, Dad. And finally I would get to the point where I would say, C sharp major. Because I wanted his fingers to stop snapping. Okay? Because I wanted to quickly be able to learn and know what the key signature was. And he would say, great. And I thought, thank you. And then he would say, what's the relative minor? I thought, oh, I'm in trouble. But we would be at the supermarket, and he would do the same thing, where he would snap and say, 6 sharps, which key? So for me, I was always trying to learn these key signatures. So the book that we're going to talk about today is called 100 Left-Hand Patterns Every Piano Player Should Know. Now, this book, it's available either as a spiral-bound version from my website or from the music store here. It's also available as a paperback version from Amazon.com. It actually, I wasn't even going to start marketing and promoting this book until next month, but I put this book up on Amazon, and I didn't tell anyone about it, thinking I have time to market and promote, and within a few days it was the #1 new release on Amazon in 2 different book categories, in the music theory book category and in the piano songbook category. And I thought, I am in trouble. I mean, it was a good trouble, a good problem to have, but I thought, I am really in trouble because I did not even send my distributor, Chesbro Music, up in Idaho. They just barely received this book. And I thought, no one even knows about this, and yet I was getting 6 orders in Germany and 3 orders in the UK and 9 orders in the US in one day, and I thought, this is wonderful, but I'm not ready for this to happen. And so, we're going to talk a little bit about the 100 left-hand patterns. The whole premise of the book. The title says, 100 left-hand patterns every piano player should know, play the same song 100 different ways. So, the way I created the book, we have basic left-hand patterns, where I have left-hand patterns, even beginning brand new, young students can play, where we take the theory and we break it apart to teach them how to arrange, how to compose music. And it's a progressive book where it gets more difficult as we go along. We go into jazz, blues, and boogie-woogie left-hand patterns, because what my father taught me really works. I love playing jazz, blues, and boogie-woogie. I played jazz piano in high school in the jazz band and loved it. So we have all these different left-hand patterns. I explain the theory, I give all the fingering. And then we go into pop and rock left-hand patterns, where we have the left-hand patterns. Then we go into New Age and contemporary left-hand patterns that you can do with classical music, you can do with hymns. And I'm going to demonstrate several of these. Once you finish all of these left-hand patterns, we go into the practical application where I say, this is how we apply it. Because I want you to know what to do, but I want you to know how to do it as well. And I take a simple song like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and we're going to show you and demonstrate some things. How many of you know Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? Okay? How many of you can play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? Pretty simple, just a little left-hand pattern. Okay? Well, what I do is I first show right here in what is known as fake book format. Have you guys ever seen fake book format before? It's where you have just the right-hand melody and you have chords written above. You don't have a left-hand pattern written out. Now, you can play these left-hand patterns when you have music written out, or if you have it just like this. So, as an example, what I have done in the practical application section, I show 5 different examples of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Right here it says, New Age pattern number 61 from the book. So it says, I want you to go to page 20 from this book, and you're going to play the New Age pattern of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Okay? Now, I even write it out for you so you can see how it looks. We do this. What am I doing with my left hand? Okay? I have C, G, C. This is called a 1-5-8-5, 1-5-8-5 left-hand pattern. Okay? What if I did a 1-5 left-hand pattern? C to G. Now you are a piano enthusiast, right? Could I have your assistance? Come up here. Come up here. Okay. We're going to have him try something. Okay, remind me of your name again?
Bo.
Bo. Okay. I have a nephew named Bo. Come take a seat. So, his pinky is on C, his thumb is on G. Okay? Can you do that? Put your pinky on C and your thumb on G. Theory-wise, this is called a fifth interval. Okay? In the piano teaching world, we would say it's a perfect fifth interval. He's just playing C to G. If you play it together, it is called an harmonic fifth. Okay? So play it together. It's a blocked interval. Now, if you break it apart, it's called a melodic fifth. We said harmonic fifth, think harmony. Melodic fifth, think melody. So now watch. I want you to take that left hand and just break it apart. Go back and forth. Pretend like you're playing eighth notes. Okay? Now watch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay? Now go faster. Like... This is the left hand pattern. Okay? 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. Just going back and forth. Now go up to F. Put your pinky on F. Okay? And just go back and forth there. Good. Go up to A. Put your pinky on A and do it on A. Go down to G. Try it on G. See, what we're doing is we're teaching how to follow chords. Music is composed of having a melody with the right hand and harmony with the left hand. It's a chord progression. That wasn't too difficult, right? Okay, we're going to do a duet. Okay? Watch what we are going to do. Just his left hand pattern, okay? I want you to do this, and then I'm going to call out C, A, F, G. See that? So watch. C, and then A, and then F, and then G. Okay? For those of you who are listening and kind of following along, I'm following a chord progression. C major, then I go down to A minor, then I go down to F major, and then I go to G major. That's my chord progression. But I'm just having him do a broken fifth interval. C to G, then he goes down to A to E, and then down F to C, and then G to D. See that? You can say the bumps if you want, that's not necessary, it's not mandatory. Okay? But let's just try this. You, just with the left hand, your other left hand, there you go. Okay, let's try this, and just start on C, go down to A, go to F, good, go to G. With my right hand, I'm going to take 5 notes. It's a C major pentascale. The word penta means 5. It's the first 5 notes of a C major scale. You guys can do that, right? First 5 notes. Instead of the full C major scale, I'm just doing C, D, E, F, G. Okay? I can play them any note, any rhythm. And what I tell students, I'll say, hold up your hand and count your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One time I had someone do that and they didn't have 5 fingers. I felt really bad. But for those who have 5 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And I just tell them any number, 1 through 5, random numbers. And on a paper, you can just write them down. Start with 1, end with 1. And then in the middle, write down 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So watch, if I were calling out random numbers, well, let's have you guys call out random numbers. Numbers 1 through 5. Which one do you want?
1.
1. Okay. What about your sister?
5.
5. Okay. What about your other sister?
6.
Are you sisters? Are you friends?
You
Okay.
can't say 6. Say 1, 2, 3, or 5.
1 through 5.
3.
3. 1, 5, 3. Okay. Jeff, what's another one?
4.
4.
2.
2. Okay. Now we just have to remember. 1, 5, 3, 4, 2. Okay. I'm just going to play that, and then I'll start to add other ones while you do this with your left hand. Okay. It's just a broken fifth interval, right? Okay. You keep going. So you start C, A, F, good, G, good, and keep going. Go back to C. There you go. F, G, the song. All he is doing is this. And what did I do? I call that random numbers with my right hand, 1 through 5. 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, 5, 5, 5, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 3. Okay? I actually became really good at saying numbers because I had piano students where I would challenge them who could play chords faster, where we would do all 6th and 7th chords in every key, and we would have races. And I had one piano student who said, "This is a completely unfair race. You'll always beat me, every single time." And I said, "Well, you just have to get faster and faster." He said, "But the more I practice, the more you will, and I'll never beat you." And I said, "What do you propose?" And he said, "How about you say the letters while I play the chord?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "I will play the chord in different inversions, but while I play the chord, you have to say the letters from the chord." And I said, "Are you kidding?" And so I had to do C, G, A, E, G, A, C, G, A, C, E, A, C, G, C, G, A. I had to do that, okay, which when we start adding sharps in, C sharp, E sharp, I mean, I was really trying to beat him, so it really became, it leveled the playing field quite a bit. You know, so he would really go faster because I was trying to speak it. But that's what we were doing. Let's give him a round of applause. Take a bow, take a bow. Here, for participate, I'm going to give you a copy of Variations on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Okay? And that book has 9 different arrangements. We have Mary took her lamb to a swinging jazz club. Mary's lamb had the blues. Mary and her lamb danced with Indians. Okay, you know, Mary's lamb danced the waltz. Mary's lamb meets Mozart. You know, all these different arrangements. We finally end, and my wife made me change it, understandably, because I wanted to say Mary's lamb died, and she said you can't do that to Mary's lamb, and so
You'll
traumatize the children. So we took Mary's lamb to a funeral. And it was this very sad, you know. Very depressing. Mary had a little lamb. So it really changed the way we hear Mary Had a Little Lamb. Okay, I'm going to have one of my piano students, Noah, come up. We're going to put him to work. Okay, with this Twinkle Twinkle Little Star arrangement that we talked about, what I want to do is I want to tell you how you can take the same song and you can change it. Now, with my own students, what will I do? I will say, play the same song how many times?
100 different times.
100 different ways. And guess what? You have 100 different left-hand patterns here. Or you can take one song and you can play it 100 different ways. And I would start by saying, let's just do 5, or let's do 10 or 15, but I would want them to take the same song and change it around. So let me show you as an example. We have a left-hand pattern which has a barrel house blues left-hand pattern. It's a perfect 5th interval, C and G, then a major 6th interval, C and A, then the minor 7th interval, C and B flat. You guys have probably heard something that sounds like this before. Okay, we're just going up and down. And it's a nice little jazzy left-hand pattern. But we can take Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and really jazz it up. I'm starting to embellish it, okay? And sometimes I get really carried away, where I will really embellish the right hand, where I will start doing things like... Okay, where we'll really change it and embellish it. But I'm taking these patterns. They're left-hand patterns. What I'm going to have my student do is show us a little bit. We're going to go into the Fun Fake Book section. See, the book is divided into 2 sections. We have the 100 left-hand patterns, and then we have the Fun Fake Book section. In the fun fakebook section, the music is written in fun fakebook format, where you only have the right-hand melody, but then you have the chords written above the melody. So students can begin arranging any song any way they want. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have you can pick whichever song you want to pick, okay? There are 5 different sections. We have a children's song section, and then we go into American folk songs, patriotic music, and then we have a Christmas section. We also have a classical music section, and then we also go into the gospel spiritual section. So we're going to be, I guess we're in the children's song section. What do you want to play?
How about the Wheels on the Bus?
Okay, you guys know the Wheels on the Bus? Okay, pretty simple, right? So this is what I have written. That is what I have written. And then above the measures, I have chords. Okay? So, we're going to have him arrange this any way you want. So what do you want to do? We're going to have him choose a number from the left-hand pattern section.
How about the jazz blues section?
Okay, the jazz blues section. So in this jazz blues section, we have these left-hand patterns. This is a 50s rock style, okay? And he's swinging it. He's going to play a straight chord swinging, okay? Okay, new age section.
Let's see, 62.
Okay, this is
Number 62.
number 62. The pattern says 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So according to the C major scale, we're using C as number 1. D would be 2, E would be 3, F would be 4, G would be 5, A would be 6, B would be 7, and then the C above would be 8. So if we do 1, 5, 8, that's C, G, C. If we do 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, it's C, G, C, D, E. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Doesn't matter where I go. Doesn't matter what key I go into either. Okay? I'm not going to have you do all keys. I tell the students, I want you to be able to play it 100 different ways in every key signature, which is a great challenge. Okay? I love it. And I don't ask my students to do anything I personally am not willing to do, and I've already done it. Okay? So, let's just try. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. This is a very thought-provoking bus. Okay? Now you can do that. What if the bus had a flat tire? It's not so happy anymore. Okay? So instead of doing 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, what if I did 1, 5, 8, 9, flat the 10, which would be an E flat. Okay? Remember, the tires got flat. So I mean, okay, let's give it a flat. Since it has a flat, let's give the tire a flat. So now this is a very sad Wheels on the Bus. Since we're adding 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 with the left-hand pattern, essentially what we're going to do is play C minor. This is not a happy sounding song. This is going to be sad. Okay? Any piano teachers, what is the relative minor of E flat major?
C minor.
C minor. So we have 3 flats. We have B flat, E flat, and A flat. So the relative minor, that means his right hand melody, every time he sees the B, the E, or the A, he's going to play a flat. He'll still play the rest of the notes as they are written, but he's going to play E flat, B flat, and A flat. Okay? And the left hand is going to do 1, 5, 8, 9, flat to 10, because we have a flat tire. Okay, let's try this. Not the happiest ride you have ever been on in your life. It changes the way it sounds. Okay? Good job. Very good. Well, don't go too far. Just kind of stay close by because I will use you again as a victim. So, I mean participant. And so, let me show you, as an example, I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to play. Do you guys know Pop Goes the Weasel or the Incy Wincy Spider? Should we do something like that? Okay. Let me show you as an example. Okay? Which one do you want? Pop Goes the Weasel or the Incy Wincy Spider? They're both here. I mean, I can play whichever one you want. Incy Wincy Spider? I saw you like the spider. Okay? So, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to play it just with chords to begin with. Okay? Listen to this. Students, when you first learn, all we have is the melody, and then we have chords written above. I tell students, in the beginning, you should be able to play the melody with the right hand, and then play the chord with the left hand. Hear that? But once you can do that, then I want you to play both the melody and the harmony with the right hand. The chord is going to be played with the right hand, so the left hand is free to play around. This is why I tell students, I came out with an entire book called Essential Piano Exercises. Okay? It's almost 200 pages and I love exercises. My students may not feel the same way, but I love them. But I came out with just a checklist where I said, I want you to be able to play all scales in every key. 1 octave, 2 octave, 3 octave, 4 octaves. Okay? Major and minor. And I have scale books. I tell students, I don't know all of my scales. And the students, they'll look and say, oh, you don't know all of your scales? And even when I do workshops, I will tell piano teachers, I don't have all of my scales memorized. And the teachers will say, how can you teach and not know all of your scales? And I say, now, don't get me wrong. I know all of my major scales. I know all of the minor scales. We have the relative minor, the harmonic minor, the melodic minor. I know all of my blues scales. We have the major blues scale, we have the minor blues scale. Okay? I know all of the modes in every key. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, mixed Lydian, Aeolian, Locrian. Okay? I don't quite have all of my Balinese scales memorized in every key. I still have to think, now wait a second. Am I sharping the 4th and flatting the 3rd? Or am I, I have to think about it for a second. Okay? My Prometheus scales. I don't know all of my Prometheus scales.
I didn't even know there were.
Yes. Okay. My Neapolitan 6th scales, based off of the Neapolitan 6th chord. I don't have all of those memorized. I mean, I can play them, but I have to think in every key what they are. Okay? My Japanese 4 and Japanese 2 scales. Okay? There are so many scales that people don't even think about. Okay? How many of you know your gypsy? Yeah, the gypsy scales in every key. Okay? So you see, we can continuously be learning and growing. Okay? But what I want to do is have a place where we can learn and check everything off. So I told the students I wanted them to learn every chord in every key in every inversion. And I had one student, for years I just had this checklist, and I had one student who said, can't you just put this in a book for us? So we can have it all written out? And I said, sure, why not? And so, I mean, it's a lot of work for me, but I'm okay doing it. So I went through and I have all major pentascales, every key signature. All minor pentascales, all diminished pentascales in every key signature. Then we start going key by key, where every key signature we have all of the major scales, and I only put them one octave, where we have contrary motion and parallel motion, and then we have the intervals, blocked and broken, the triads, blocked and broken, and the seventh chords. But then we go through every key doing that, and then we start going through all of the chords in every key. All major sixth chords in root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion. All minor seventh chords, all major seventh, all dominant seventh, diminished seventh, all minor seventh, flat the fifth, all minor seventh, sharp the fifth, in every key, in every inversion, where I have students play, and I like it. Is it fun? Do you like it? How can you like it? He has to say that because, you know, we're here. He has his book right there. Going in every key, where they learn how to do the chords in every single inversion, every position. And the reason why I tell students to do that, because if I have the chords written here, instead of playing with the left hand, I have to remember which song I'm playing. Well, if I play with my right hand, I'm going to invert the chords. So now listen, just the right hand. Yes?
You're inverting it so the melody's on the top.
Melody's always on the top. Yep, melody's always on the top. So, if I play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I'll play with my pinky. Let's say I want to do just basic triads. The melody is always on top. I'll tell students, try to play all sixth chords. So the sixth chord is now below the melody. I'll say, play all seventh chords. See how I'm taking whatever I'm playing, and then if I'm doing that where I have a sixth chord, and I'm going below the melody, with my left hand, what if I wanted to do a walking bass pattern? Start to jazz it up. What if I wanted to do a boogie woogie? See, my right hand is playing both the chords, the harmony, and the melody. Any style I want. What if I want to do a minor 1, 5, 8, 9, flat the 10, okay? With my right hand, I'm going to play the chords with my right hand, but I'm going to play major octave chords. Do you guys know what a major octave chord is? You have the major triad, C, E, G, and then I'm just going to play, my thumb and pinky will play an octave interval. So if I'm playing a C with my thumb, my pinky is going to play C as well. And then I just put in the major triad right there. So I'm moving up in half steps. We do this a lot, don't we? Okay, I'm moving up in half steps. Well, the melody is going to be played with the pinky. So now watch, I'm going to play major octave chords with the right hand with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. If you want it to sound grandiose and big, let's say Twinkle Twinkle Little Star lost his light. Is this a happy Twinkle 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 Little Star? No, this is a very sad Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, okay? Listen to how it sounds. Listen to how the music makes you feel. With my left hand, I'm going to do 1, 5, 8, 9, flat the 10. Okay? If I'm playing hymn arrangements at church, depending on the verse, I may put it into a minor key, depending on what the words say. Okay? In my religion, we have a song. It's a beautiful song. But there's a section where it talks about, in prison I saw him next condemned. Does that sound happy to you?
Nope.
No, it does not. So here, if I'm playing in prison, I saw him about to die, but I smiled at him and said, well, goodbye. No, I mean, it's very, very sad. This is sad. So guess what I did? I put it in a minor key. What happened instantly? We have this sad. You can feel the pain. And then I can go happy again. And I can change, I can direct how I want the audience to feel emotionally based on what I'm doing. So if I'm playing the Eensy Weensy Spider and I'm afraid of spiders, I can do this little. Change the feeling of the piece. What if I want to do a 50s rock style? Maybe it's a very peppy spider, okay? And it likes to swing on its web. I'm jazzing up this spider, okay? It completely changes. I have 100 different left-hand patterns where I tell students, you could take any of these left-hand patterns. You know, in the New Age Contemporary section, I have this. I play an octave interval with a major, C major chord first inversion, then D minor chord first inversion, then G major chord first inversion. See, I can take it any which way I want. Over here, let me show you another left-hand pattern to give you an idea. And I can't show all 100, I mean we'd be here for a very long time. But let me show you a left-hand pattern. It's based off of a C major pentascale and a C minor pentascale. Okay? So the C minor pentascale, I'm going to play around with the notes. Bum, 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 I took C, D, E flat, F, G, C, D, E flat, F, G. Not too difficult. This is what I have. Number 70. Okay, I'm taking that left hand and I am changing how I want it to sound. Okay? Now, you play piano fairly well? I like to put people on the spot. I'm very comfortable doing it. Can I have you come up here? Come on up, come on up. Okay, remind me of your name again? Ellie, okay. We're going to have Ellie try something for a second, okay? This is pattern number 62, right here, okay? See all these left-hand patterns?
Yeah.
All right. This says 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, okay? Now, it's 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, okay? Try that with your left hand. Put your pinky on C. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now, you like to compose, right? Sort of, okay? Okay, watch this. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Doesn't matter where I go. What if I go to A? 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. What if I go to F? 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. What if I go to G? 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Try that. Play C. 1, 5, 1, 5, 8. Huh? Good. Go down to A. We're just playing white keys. Go down to F. Go to G. See, we're following a chord progression. Okay? Now, what I had Bo do before, you did the same chord progression. See, I'm trying to tie it all in. So C, then you went down to A, then you went to F and G. She's doing the same thing, but in the New Age world. Okay? So watch. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Try it again. And we're going to add something with the right hand. Bum, 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 dum, F. Good, G. That's it. Easy, right? With the right hand, we're going to pretend we are David Longs. Okay? So, he does this with a lot of his songs. But, I mean, he's really good. But this is a sixth interval. See that? From C to A, that's a sixth interval. I'm just going to go up and down. Okay? Try that. Put your thumb on C and your pinky on A, and just go up to the right. Pretty easy. Okay? Now, let's start on C and E. So put your thumb on E, pinky on C. Okay, this is a sixth interval. What I want you to do is break it apart. Top, bottom. You can go bottom, top, or top, bottom. She's going to do the top note, and then the bottom note. And then slide to the left. Top note, bottom note, slide to the left. See that? Try it. Pretty good. Now, what if I did 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, okay? And we're just following this pattern, right? Okay. We'll start on C. We don't want to go minor just yet, but with my right hand, I'm going to play the sixth intervals, just going up and coming down. So watch. I'm going to start with E and C with my right hand. Is that okay? I'll break them apart, because why not? It sounds nice. And now just playing 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 with my left hand. I'm just going up and down with 6 intervals. You want to try it? 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. And with the right hand, we're just going to come down. Let's try it. Just for fun. Think happy thoughts. You can do this. You've got this. There you go. Yep. Good. You're doing a great job. That's it. You could compose a song like that. No one would know. And maybe no one would be any wiser. And you would say, yeah, this is my new song. People would say, wow. I know. Thank you. Good job. Let's give it a round of applause. Okay, it's all about learning left-hand patterns. It's about learning the theory. You can have any song in the world that you can change it. And I tell students, I only put 100 in here. I want to put more in, but I don't want to scare people off. I would love to have 1,000 left-hand patterns. But then you think 1,000 left-hand patterns in every key signature, multiplied. But I mean, the numbers start adding up, okay? Because I tell students, if you can play Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I'm doing a 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left-hand pattern right now, that's great. Can you do it in every key? That's the goal, and that's what we work on live. Okay, you can go into any key signature, well, that you should be able to, okay? Many times, have you ever heard the magic number 7? Okay? The rule of the magic number 7. You can change any song. Do you remember we talked a little bit about the magic number 7? What do? We take whatever key signature we're in, okay? We take 7, subtract whatever key signature. Well, if I'm playing a song, and I'm in the key of, let's say I'm in the key of A major. I don't want to do something too difficult. Key of A major. How many sharps do I have? 3. Which ones are they? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, okay? So we are in the key of A major. Well, take the magic number 7, subtract 3 sharps. What's 7 subtract 3? 4. So instead of sharps, we're going to have flats. So 7 subtract 3 sharps leaves us with 4 flats. So if I have a song and I'm in the key of A, I can read the music exactly as it is written, but in my mind, all I'm going to do, instead of playing F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, those are going to be my naturals. F natural, C natural, and G natural. So instead of playing here, in my mind, I'm playing here. And you can transpose any song instantly into one key signature. You can read the music as it is. It's the 7 subtract, however many sharps or flats you have. It's the magic number. But you can also take a song. I have students, I tell them, I want you to be able to play the song as it is, but go up half a step, or go down half a step. So instantly they have up half a step or down half a step, and they have the magic number 7. It's very, very helpful where you can take and you can begin to arrange and transpose. Does that make sense? No? I'll show you later, okay? We'll talk about it.
Well, you have like 2 more examples of your 7 minus.
Okay.
Or just with different
Is
keys.
7 just a number, or does it mean 7 flats?
Nope, 7 is just a number. 7 is a magic number. If I have...
Like you did the key of A, if I have 2 more keys, I probably
Okay,
get it.
key of D. Okay, 2 sharps.
So you have that.
7 subtract the 2 sharps, okay? That leaves us with 5 flats, right? We do the opposite.
Okay.
So if I have D major, I'm in the key of D major, well, I'm reading the music, and every time I see an F and a C, I know I'm going to play the sharps. But if I take 7, subtract 2, I can read the music as it is written, and in my mind, I'm going to play F natural and C natural. See that? So instead of doing that, I'm going to play F natural and C natural, but everything else is now a flat. So which key signature just has F natural and C natural?
I see what you're saying.
Do you see what I'm saying? Okay? Key of D flat major has 2 naturals, F natural and C natural. So I can read the music exactly as it is, and I'll tell students, you don't even need to transpose, you can just read the music as it is, but in your mind, you're thinking every time I see an F sharp or a C sharp, I'm going to play F natural or C natural, and just know the rest are flats. So now this becomes that's actually a song I just wrote a little while ago. But I have a primary book I'm coming out with that has 40 primary songs that I have written, the lyrics and the piano part too. So that will be fun. That'll be nice to come out with. But that's what we are doing with this. It's the practical application of music theory. I have a YouTube channel, and we're going to be wrapping up in just a few minutes, but I have a YouTube channel I would love to have everyone subscribe to. It's youtube.com/Jerald Simon. Every week, I come out with free videos where I teach music theory the fun way. Do you have my phone? I have Theory Tip Tuesdays, and then I'm starting to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I come out with a brand new free video and a free PDF download on my website that anyone can download and print off. If I may see my phone for a second. Thank you. So, I'm just going to go into my YouTube app right here. But let me show you. So this is my YouTube channel. I have hundreds and hundreds of videos on here. But let me show you as an example. I have music videos. So this is a new one that I just barely came out with. It's called How to Play a 1, 3, 4, 5 chord progression. Now, actually let me turn this guy on. Theory, the fun way. I refer to it as piano fundamentals. Loud speaker. The emphasis on the word fun. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how to take a simple chord progression and what you can do with it. There's a big gap where you learn the music theory and then the practical application. I'm trying to bridge that gap where I show you what you can do with the music theory. You can learn it, but then you can apply it. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I come out with a brand new piano fundamental lesson. I share it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jerald Simon. So I'd love to have you subscribe and watch all of these weekly piano lessons that I give. They're perfect for piano students, for piano professionals, piano teachers, and I even have a free resource that I include on my website at musicmotivation.com. So I think you'll like this. Have fun with this.
Was on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, well that's one of my albums. I have 10 different albums that I've come out with, and that song is from a techno-pop album I came out with. How many of you like to have different styles, different sounds? I'm going to quickly finish with this. Let me have you listen to some of these. So on my iTunes, my music is on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes. These are some of my albums that I have on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, and I have these as music books as well. Okay? But let me show you some different sounds. This is Triumphant from my book Triumphant. This is a fully orchestrated. These studio musicians are amazing. I wrote out the parts for all the instruments, and they're just playing them as if they've been playing them their entire lives. Okay? nominal musicians. I'm playing the piano and the keyboard parts, and then we have an orchestra, I have guitarists, several guitarists, bass guitar, drums, okay? So this is triumphant. Like triumphant. After I came out with triumphant, I came out with a few different ones. We have some hymn arrangements, some hymn albums, just me playing the hymns, very, very gentle, very soothing. After coming out with the hymn albums, of course I came out with a piano book of original piano songs. This is called The Dawn of a New Age. I just released yesterday and the day before 2 different music videos on my YouTube channel featuring this. This is called Heaven on Earth. It's just a piano solo I composed. After I came out with this, I came out with several different meditation relaxation albums. A lot of spas, chiropractors, massage therapists, they use this music when they're working on their patients, their clients. Yoga studios, it's very calming. Everything is set at 60 beats per minute. It's very, very gentle. And so as they are working with a lot of acupuncturists, they will use this calming music because our heartbeat responds to rhythm. So what happens is when we hear something that's really upbeat and intense, our heart starts getting faster and faster. Music composers who film for scores, they help us basically scare ourselves. They start slowly and they speed up and get faster and faster and faster until we scare ourselves because it's our heartbeat getting faster and faster. First thing I wanted to do is calm people down. Our heartbeat responds to rhythm. So naturally, we start to calm down and it's very soothing. Of course, the only thing you could do after coming out with an album like this is to come out with a techno-pop album. Because why not? I mean, it's, completely different. So, I'm playing all the different instruments you hear on this. Most of them are keyboard and synth sounds. But it's fun to have, they're piano-based, but they're techno-pop pieces. And several different styles. As an example, here's one called Seismic. After I came out with this, I came out with a very soothing album. It was called Sweet Serenity, and it had all these gentle piano pieces from some of my books. And of course, after coming out with something like this, the only thing you can do is come out with a scary Halloween album, because, I mean, why not? That's what you do, right? So this is an album and book called Ghosts and Goblins and Freaks and Ghouls. And the book has scary Halloween music. And it's fun to have piano students play this because they can play along. Where it's a very frightening sound. At Halloween, I like to go trick-or-treating with my kids and put this in my back pocket and just let the music scare people as we're walking around. But you can see the different styles and different sounds that you can create. that is what I wanted to do with this weird left-hand patterns. I always tell students, the three main areas I focus on, one I call theory therapy, one I refer to as innovative improvisation, and the other is creative composition. Essentially, it's teaching music theory, teaching improvisation and arranging, and teaching how to compose music. I tell students, I want you to be able to play anything. Where you can sit down and you can play Rachmaninoff or Liszt or any piece. You can play anything out there. But then I want you to be able to play around with it. Where you can take that and you can change the style, the sound. I'm going to finish off just doing a quick little concert, playing some pieces that I've composed from some of my books. Now, before I do, does anyone have any questions about what we can do with composing? And I know it's a lot to try and put in just such a short amount of time. And on my website, I have so many resources. You can go and watch, on my YouTube videos alone, that will keep you busy for a very, very long time. Because I have over 200 or 300 videos on there. And they're all piano lesson or some are music videos. But that will keep you going for a very long time. But my website has a lot of free resources as well. What I would like to do is play for you a few different pieces. And I'm going to play some that are more advanced, some that are a little easier, some that are really advanced. And so what I would like to do, I'm going to show you, well, I put my recorder somewhere else. I like a lot of different instruments. And so I play a lot of different instruments. And many times I will take the recorder and I'll have the students try to compose what I play, where they can take, and I'll say, hear that, and then play it on the piano. And I'll just come up with little things and say, can you take what I'm playing and can you begin to compose things, to give them ideas? Something that they can do. I have a drum set and I have conga drums and bongo drums, and many times I will have the students try to take one of the conga drums, the big tall conga drums, and I'll say the right conga drum is going to be your treble clef, and the left conga drum is your bass clef. And you're going to play the music on the conga drums to help them get the rhythm. Now, they can't actually play a melody, but it helps them really get the rhythm down because they're having to do it on the drums, which is a wonderful, wonderful way to help them learn. Many times I'll get my guitar, my bass guitar, and I will jam with students, where I will be doing a walking bass on my electric bass guitar, or I'll be comping with chords with the guitar to help them really begin to learn to play along with other musicians, which is a fun, fun thing to do. Before I start playing some of these songs, I know Piano Gallery, I think they had mentioned they would give like a 10% discount on any books that you would purchase today. Yes?
I have another chord progression thing for you.
What's another chord progression?
Heart and soul.
Heart and soul. That is a good one. Could you arrange it?
I don't know.
Ah, okay. Could you take, a simple progression like that? We could do it 100 different ways, but you can see how you can take an idea, a song, any song, and you can change it and play around with it. And that's why I tell students, I want you to be able to learn how to play what is written, but that is not the final destination. That is not the end result. That's only the beginning. Once you can play the music as it is written, can you play it in every key signature? Can you play it 5 different ways, 10, 15, 20, 100 different ways? And of course, in this book, I give you 100 different ways where you can play that left-hand pattern. But I'm going to play some songs for you. I have a series called Cool Songs for Cool Kids. I have primer level, book 1, book 2, book 3, and then we get into cool songs that rock, book 1, book 2. This series actually came about because of piano students. When I first began teaching piano lessons, very early in our marriage, I came up with variations on Mary Had a Little Lamb, and then I came out with a book called An Introduction to Scales and Modes. I like Introduction to Scales and Modes, everyone else might not, but because of those two books, I went from having about 40-something piano students, which is where I am now with my own piano studio, to having around 90-something, almost 100, close to 100, which no teacher should ever do. These are one-on-one piano lessons, okay? I was teaching Monday through Saturday, like 10 to 12-hour days, okay? I don't recommend that to anyone. But the problem, most of these students who came to me, they hated piano lessons, like with a passion, hated piano lessons. And they said, I will not play the piano at all. And they would even fold their arms and say, I'm not going to touch the piano. And I would say, and this was before, phones and tablets were really big, and I would say, well, let's listen to a song. You can choose any song you want, and I'll let you play any song you want to play. And they wouldn't do it. They would not. Any book I would recommend, they would not do it. And so, do you know what I started doing? This series came about because of them. I came up with the idea. I said, I'm going to compose a song during your lesson. I will compose it, and I will notate it in finale all during your 30-minute lesson. I'll print it out and send it home with you. You can tell me it will be a 1 to 2 page song. You can tell me what key signature, what time signature you want, and then I will compose it. And for me, it was a very big challenge. For them, it was just a game. And I had students who would say, okay, well, I want this. I had one student, and all of these pieces in all of these books were composed. There are 21 pieces in every book, and they're all based on level. They were composed during the piano student's lesson. I had one piano student who said, I will only play video game music. That's it. And I said, okay. So I came up with Game Over. But then he said, you can only use 4 notes. And I said, what? And I said, which 4 notes? And he did this. And I said, you're kidding, right? You want me to compose something with that? And he said, yes. And I said, you've got to give me something else. Give me at least one more note. He said, okay. And I just looked at this kid. He was laughing. And I said, you want me to compose something with this? And then he said, but that B, you can only play 4 times in the entire piece. I mean, I gave these kids a lot of leeway. I mean, I really, for them, it was just some fun thing. And he said, but it has to sound like video game music. And I said, you want this to sound like video game music? He said, yes. And I said, okay. I said, what if we do that with the left hand, and with the right hand, we'll just rock back and forth from C to G the entire way. And I will throw in a B only 4 times in the entire piece. And he said, okay. So this is what I came up with, and we titled it Game Over. You heard it when it went down 4 times. But that's what he wanted to play. I printed it out, I sent it home with him. He came back the next week and I said, now you have to learn it. He came back the next week, not only had he learned it, he had perfected it, played it for all of his friends and his family. And this was the kid who said, I'm not touching the piano. I'm not going to play the keys. And the next week he brought a friend back with him who started taking piano lessons from me. Okay? I had another piano student who said he wanted to learn jazz. He was an older piano student, and he was in his early 70s. Great, great, great individual. But he said he wanted it to be simple, so I said, we'll just do C, F, and G. And so I did this, what I had you play, that left-hand barrel house blues pattern, and the right hand, we did the blues scale, blues pentascale. Just something simple that he wanted to play. I had younger students. This is a primer level book. I wanted it to sound really big, even though it was a very, very basic. And so I said, we'll just stay in a C pentascale position, playing C, D, E, F, and G. But I composed this, it's the unicorn that got away. I don't know where it went, but it's the unicorn that got away. And the left hand, I said, you're just going to play that fifth interval, like I had you play, right, Bo? But we're just going to do a blocked interval. And the right hand, we're only doing C, D, E, F, or G. Listen to this. I attended a concert where a piano teacher had her student play that, and it's written just in the 5-finger position, but I introduced them quickly to go up an octave, go up 2 octaves. And I had this little girl, she was, I think 4 or 5, and she stood up and she played this song at this concert I attended. Another piano teacher, her studio, and she played that, and everyone was shocked. And then the teacher said she's only been playing for 2 weeks, and everyone was shocked. But it's because it's only C, D, E, F, G. It's only a 5-finger pattern. But I want it to sound bigger. So here, it's even though it's written here, it says take the right hand up to the next E. Take the right hand up to the next E. So I want it to sound bigger, even though it's very, very simple. And that's the way most of these books are. Now I do have some that are very, very advanced books, that some are very, very advanced. I have a new album I'm coming out with next month, and a new book called Wintertide. And as some of my students have tried to play this, they have learned that it may be a little challenging. It's the whole book. There are 10 pieces, and this is probably the nicest page, but the whole book looks like this, where they are going all over the place, doing... down the piano, and so it's kind of intense, I will be honest with you. And it even says on the front, it says for advanced piano students, so there's no misunderstanding. But I want students to be able to take a song and to be able to learn how to play around with it. To have fun with music. That is the key, where the music goes to you and through you, and it connects to you, and it's something that you enjoy doing. So that is my hope. Hopefully this little workshop has been helpful to you. Does anyone have any questions before we end? Okay. If you would like, you can get any of my books from my website, musicmotivation.com. They're available as either PDF downloads or spiral books that are sent out to you. They're also available from the music store, where you can purchase any of my books from the music store. But then, I also have, for piano teachers, I have studio licenses available where they can print out the entire books for all of the piano students in their studios. So, the music is available there. I'd love to have you listen to the music on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, all my music. It's on different sites. But it's available from Amazon as well. But if you have any questions, I would love to have you send me an email. I have some business cards up here, and my contact is just Jerald Simon, JeraldSimon, @musicmotivation.com. And then you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jerald Simon. So thank you so much. I've enjoyed being here.